Greetings, Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. This is Tirra-Omilade, your Goddess Guru, here to share a word of inspiration with you on your path to self-realization and self-mastery. This video today is another way of me taking an opportunity to process and learn more about my Orisha. This is the energy in which I have initiated into through the Yoruba Ifa spiritual tradition out of Africa. And her energy is called Yemoja. Yemoja is the name for her in the Ifa tradition, but she is universal wisdom known through so many different cultures around the world, major religions that people don't know much about. If you don't have a religion, guess what? It's still universal principles that anyone can understand. Divine laws that rule everybody. And so, though I talk about Yemoja, please know that this wisdom is for everybody. But I have chosen the path of Ifa to understand and connect with this energy. I'll just add a little extra. It's my way of remembering who and what I am. As of yet, I haven't figured out where my ancestors are directly from in Africa. I'm in the United States of America. If you look at me, more than likely you're going to think I am of African descent. So that's something so important to me. It's just knowing who and what I am. And so I give thanks that the ancestors of Africa put out a call so that I could remember the spiritual traditions that are universal and apply to anybody. And so that I can remember them and make my life better, but also I am called and charged to share this wisdom because everybody can benefit from this wisdom. So today what I'm talking about is trust. The energy of Yemoja is the energy of the mother. And so when we think about this energy, trust is one of the things that Yemoja teaches. It's one of the ways to master yourself. It is the ability to trust once you understand it, is magical. I don't really know what people think all these super magic spiritual powers are, but I'm learning what Yemoja teaches. Most people don't. They underestimate these qualities. So trust. Years ago, I went to a class through my employer. I worked for the Bureau of Alcohol and Drug Abuse Services here in Tennessee. And it was for people who do a lot of work with people who are going through alcohol and drug rehab. And a gentleman taught a workshop, and it was called The Truth About Trust. What I learned in that, which was over 15 years ago, is something that I still use today, because whatever you put together, I just really said, this works. And so I want to share it with you because it is the wisdom of Yemoja. When we talk about trust, trust is it's a knowing. It's a knowing. It's not even really a belief, because beliefs can be, they can change. One minute you believe, the next minute you don't believe. You get given enough evidence, your belief might change. Trust, and I just want to plug my husband, Craig, Pastor Craig. He talked about this in church in his sermon yesterday, how important it is to trust. And trust is based on past history. It's based on past history. Trust is not, I trust you because you do what I need you to do when you need me to do it. What the man in the seminar taught was, trust is, I trust you to do what you always do until you give me something else to believe. And so I have told people, when you start talking about trust, you need to look at it with different eyes. You need to look at it with different eyes. You need to trust that people are who they are. Don't lie to yourself. Don't put people up on a pedestal only to be disappointed. No, they were showing you who they were from the beginning. Okay? If they don't show you from the beginning, trust me, baby, in the middle, they are going to show you. The signs are there. If they're not showing you, as you watch them with other people, you'll know. I remember there was someone who would tell me everybody else's business. I didn't think she was telling mine, only to find out, oh, she was telling mine too. So it taught me, trust people when they say who they are. And they're not going to tell you who they are, but they will show you who they are. So trust, if you start transforming what trust is when it comes to relationships, it will keep you real with yourself about who you're dealing with. It'll also stop you from getting mad at people. It'll take the burden that you're putting on other people off of them. Why I want this person? I trusted him and he did this and he did that. Well, you know what? Whatever you're wanting that person to do for you, maybe you need to be doing it for yourself. Okay? Now, if this person has let you down 3 or 4 times, don't get mad at them. Say, thank you. Thank you. I know I cannot give you that particular thing to do. Now, we don't have to take the baby and throw the baby out with the bathwater. Okay? That's the beauty of this way of understanding trust. No, in that particular area, that person, I will not ask them to do those kinds of things for me. But they might be good in other areas. You know, we get mad at people because they let us down, and then we start getting to that place where we don't want to trust anybody. We just want to do everything for ourselves, and we live like a scary cat. You know, we had this cat, and the cat was just so scary, always constantly looking around. So we live like a scary cat, and we don't get any help with anything. The best thing to do is to have a high level of trust within you. It starts with knowing who you are. Within the Institute of Whole Life Healing, of which I'm a part, there are 3 areas of focus. Know thyself, cleanse and purify, and living in alignment with absolute truth. Know thyself is the first place where we start. It's foundational because most people don't really know the truth of who and what they are. They believe what the world has told them. They believe they are who they are based on experiences that they've had in life. But they don't really know on a deeper level the truth. Like most people think they're flesh and blood. No. We have flesh and blood in order to have a physical experience. We are energy. We are consciousness in a body. And so we get to know this part of ourselves. Why don't we get to know that part of ourselves that you can't touch, that you can only experience? And the question is, how much part of you have you really experienced? The more you know about you, and you have a good relationship with yourself, and you trust you, the deeper level of trust you will have with other people. But it's a healthy kind of trust. It's, okay, I'm going to get to know who you are. You show me who you are, and if you let me down, you didn't really let me down. You just showed me who you are. And I don't have to walk around here all wounded and scary and not trusting things and not trusting people. I mean, lack of trust really puts you in a place where you are going to be stuck somewhere. Let's talk about fear, okay? In my view of things, fear is the opposite of trust. Either you're going to trust or you're going to fear. And so, you know, we got to get out of living in fear. We have to trust that everything is going to work in our favor even when it seems like it's not. And that's why I tell people, if you operate according to divine laws and truth, not dogma, but divine laws and truth, then you begin to trust, because you know you create your reality. You know that nothing happens in your world that you don't have something to do with in your consciousness. That on some level you invited. You know that, you create your reality. So when you know this truth, you can trust even when things are looking a little haywire, everything is okay. And some of us just have to program ourselves. You just have to, that's what I've had to do. I wake up every morning and I say to myself, I live in a beneficent and benevolent universe, always conspiring in my favor. I don't care how bad things are looking. That is my truth and reality, and I say it to myself. I did not used to feel that way. I used to feel like the world is a scary place. I can't trust it. It's a lot of bad things going on. And that is for me listening to the outer world based on experiences I may have had, and allowing that to be my truth. Once I really found out the physical realm is really, it's fleeting, then I began to realize I create my reality. Nothing really is going to just get me, just like, catch me off guard. And it takes a while to deprogram yourself out of that, but you have to make that choice to do that. And once you do that, when you start affirming, this is a good place, everything's working in my favor, I run the show in my world, then you will trust that everything is going to work out. But you've got to do it. You've got to take that step to trust. Watch, be aware. Be aware. And you'll say, oh, I did work out. It did work out. Everything worked out. Even when it may not have worked out exactly like you thought it was going to work out, but you think, oh man, that did work out. There's some people who lost something great and they thought this is the end of the world. But once they got a little bit further down the road, they could see they had to have that loss in order to get a bigger gain. Okay? So the principle of trust, the ability to trust, the quality of trust starts with trusting you. That's when I started trusting the world. I started trusting myself. But what I trusted was the divine within me. And so it really calls you to have a relationship with yourself. It's very, very important to have a relationship with your own self. Once you have a relationship with your own self, when you start interacting with other people, if they are not in order, if they are not in alignment with your energy, you will trust you to figure it out. All it takes is a few times of getting burned in relationships, and you can see where you didn't listen to your inner guide, or you allowed people to do things that weren't right with you or whatever. And so you pay attention, and then you start saying, okay, I have such a deep, loving relationship with myself. I trust me to know when to exit stage left. Also, I trust it's going to be okay. I don't need everybody in my life. I don't need every experience. I don't need to be everywhere. I can let things go. That's what trust allows you to do. It really allows you to have way more freedom. If you want to stop being stuck, if you want to get out of the prison that you're in, trust. You have to trust more. And it starts with your relationship with yourself. This is Tirra-Omilade, and I hope so much that this has been a blessing to you. And I appreciate you for watching. I ask that you please like the video, share the video, because someone else may benefit from this wisdom sharing. And I will see you in the next video. I wish you many, many blessings of the Goddess. Peace and blessings.